You owe me $20.
to-
I'm like, shut up!
Right.
Shut up!
You know, like, whoa.
Like I was like, oh God, I'm gonna mess up Spider-Man.
No more Spider Cop.
Like Sensei and Grasshopper. It's like, you know.
I said it's a joke. I'm like, they're gonna burn that. Guy rolls in and he's like jumping around like, they called you, didn't they?
No,
and
no,
you're
no.
not telling me because you're afraid I'm gonna get jealous.
This guy's
Yuri-
getting
Yuri
rolled.
Watanabe.
You're watching convention coverage.
Excellent. I bet here. I'm gonna bet you right now. I'm gonna bet you $20. What I know what what most of the questions are gonna be about.
Seriously? All right, 20.
Did you have any input or kind of know about the whole face change situation between the first Spider-Man
You owe me
PS4
$20.
to the next one? Okay.
That was something they came and they said we want to do this to get better animation. We didn't know going into it that we would have these kind of issues, and I was like, do whatever you got to do to everybody gets we all got attached to that first one because that was the guy, but I can promise you right now, Insomniac is always just trying to make the game better, and I trust them in this decision too.
It also has to do with technology because they did a scan of everyone's face. Like we all had our faces scanned, but if they weren't using the exact replica of our face, like Bill Sawyers who played Doc Ock, if
Right.
you look at the Doc Ock in the game, you're looking at Bill Sawyers. Like it's just his rendering. Like that's what Doc Ock looks like. But if they had chosen to create a character that doesn't quite render like your own face renders, my character, Yuri Watanabe, does not look like, if you look at my face, you don't look at Yuri Watanabe and go, oh, that's the same person.
And I was just too old, so they had to find a young.
He still had the youthful thing about him that we all love about Yuri. So
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
we
thank you,
all got flown to Serbia, man. We were all out in Serbia and near Russia, so that's where everything.
all the scanning.
Yeah.
all the scanning had happened. So
But
yeah,
they
it was a
also-
crazy process.
Yeah, they had to scan the actor that is playing the character, but then they also scanned a face model that they thought would match for the
Damn.
game. But then sometimes your own physiognomy, the way your muscles move on your face, don't line up with somebody else's face. And so the actor that was the model for the face that they had chosen for game one, the motion of those muscles didn't line up with Yuri's muscles. So when he was doing the game, performance capture, and then they would render and lay it over that face model, it just didn't work as well. It wasn't as realistic of a performance.
They're just trying to get the animation better.
So
But
is why
you can blame the stupid bones in my face.
But that's what it is. It has to do with them technology-wise trying to elevate it.
What's your other question though?
Yeah, the other question was just a quick one. Have any of you guys played the PC version yet? And have you played with any mods or any kind of goofy stuff like that?
No, but I've loved watching people's mods online. Like on Twitter, people will post mods for the PC version, and I thought my favorite was Kermit so far, but somebody did a TMNT mod, and like I would play that game today. Like it looks so good. It was just a little test he did, but it's like TMNT, but.
Did y'all hear the recent news about us going mobile now?
No.
Yeah.
Go on.
I did not.
You like news?
Yeah, so Sony is doing something now where, well, it was on Twitter, so this is not...
Okay, good. I'm like, shut up.
Right.
Shut up.
You know, like, whoa, hey. It's on Twitter right now that Sony is now making, all of their games kind of to a PC kind of mobile phone app game. So
Wow.
they have a whole tweet out there. So it's on my Twitter right now if y'all go see.
We'll have to go check
They
that
got
out.
you posing with the phone. Yeah, they got you posing with the phone, and it's
good.
it's new Sony news. So y'all go
So you
check
But
it out.
I love how the internet knows before we
Right,
know. Like,
of course.
I don't
They don't
know.
tell us anything.
Yeah, what do we know?
Twitter is my news.
Yeah, it's-
Whatever's trending is that hot topic that day. I learned something new that day.
But I guess that means that you can't, if you've escaped the game up until now, you can't escape it anymore.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
thank you.
I know you guys probably can't talk about Spider-Man 2 too much, so if you can't answer, that's okay. I just want to know what it was like working with Tony Todd for Venom.
Oh, dude, we're still working on it. Yeah, and you're right. They would shoot us, out behind the building, if they,
With
we
paint
said anything.
guns.
With paintball guns. But it's been great. We're still working on it. That's pretty much the extent what we could tell you. But
Yes.
for me, growing up with Tony Todd as like my horror icon, and to get a chance to work with him, I had just worked with him for the first time on Dota Dragon's Blood for Netflix, and then us getting to work together again like this he's so awesome. He's such a cool dude.
He's fire, man.
And so kind and supportive and, talented. So it's, and scary. Like, it's going to be scary. I'm not going to lie.
I hope y'all ready. Yeah, definitely play with the lights off and subs loud. Yeah, your volume all the way loud, man. Oh, yeah. You're going to get the chills.
It's going to be good. Like, I think that's the only spoiler that I can tell you, which hopefully isn't spoilers. The game's going to be awesome. Like,
His voice is magic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Trailer gave me chills.
Oh, perfect.
good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, it's mission accomplished then.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Of course,
absolutely.
Jesse. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
What are your guys' favorite costumes for either Miles or Peter?
I mean, I love the Spider-Punk costume.
Me too.
I
I love Spider-Punk.
And I love Future Foundation. So, and somebody fixed the eye. Like, the only beef that I had with Future Foundation suit was the eyes are a little too buggy for me. But somebody fixed that recently and it looked really good. I just love the sort of the clean Future Foundation suit. So that I'm a Scarlet Spider guy. I like Scarlet Spider. And Spider-Man Noir. Those are probably my top.
I'm going to have to say either the retro or there was this one suit that I think you had to unlock a part in the game where the helmet kind of is like similar to my man Jesse's right here, but it's like all black and it lights up in the in the eyes. I forget what that mission was called, but that suit right there, I'm like, if I can find an actual cosplay of that, I might just walk out. Seriously, I might just do that myself.
That would be the perfect cover for you to walk around dressed
Walk
as
there.
Miles.
He had like a leather coat on. It was, bro, fire.
Oh.
Fire.
Awesome.
What's your favorite suit?
Yeah.
He's like the one I'm wearing.
That's right. Yeah.
Either the Spider-Verse one or the classic comic one. That's kind of shaded to look like
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did everybody buy Amazing Fantasy 1000 in their local comic book store? Just came out. It's good.
He only says this because he went yesterday and bought it.
And I had to buy two. I had to buy one for my 6-year-old son, and then one for me because
Because it's not as protected, the 6-year-old.
Because I'm gonna bag and board mine, and he's gonna destroy his. Like, by the end of the day.
Well, thank you guys.
But, yeah,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What's your favorite Spider-Man media that inspired you when you were working on the game?
I've seen so much Spider-Man growing up. I mean, from the early '60s, cartoon. I wasn't born in the '60s, but that's what we're
Like to watch retro
older than you thought.
He's 800 years old.
Right, I'm a vampire. I will be sucking all of your blood. That's what this panel's for.
You're getting very sleepy.
So it's hard, all those different, and growing up reading comics and watching the movies, the live-action TV, short-lived live-action TV show when I was growing up. But I know, at least for me going into it, I didn't pull on any one particular thing. It just all lives in me, rent-free.
Yeah.
But I mean, but as far as which things really fired me up, late in life, I would say, I mean, the Raimi films, those first two films, and even the third film, but
To the third film.
right, yeah, I'm one of the few people who doesn't have a problem with emo, emo Tobey Maguire, but that, I mean, he's always been my Spidey from the cinematic universe. Yeah. But I have to say, after the last movie,
Oh my God.
I can't picture those three guys not just hanging out. I would watch a whole movie of those three Spider-Man just hanging out talking about being Spider-Man. That was my favorite part. So that was,
And the animated film that came out recently.
and Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, it's so good.
was so good. I mean, it pulled from everything we love about these characters and elevated it to another level. Not that everything that had come before hadn't done that, but you needed everything that came before to build the foundation so you could get this.
And
the movies we're getting now,
and it definitely keeps the love growing for just what it is and for this new generation that's coming up. The Spidey love is just throughout everybody, girls, guys, any color. It's just crazy how the love has just grown to this to this place now where everyone could, put on the mask, essentially.
That's yeah.
I mean, like that's what we love about that character is that anyone can wear the mask, anyone can be the hero, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you came from or what you look like or who you love or anything. Like it's so great.
It's a good time to be a Spider-Man fan.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much good Spider-Man
We
stuff.
can all be
going on right now.
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's been several Spider-Man video games throughout many years, and many different voice actors have played Spider-Man, but the one in particular, Spider-Man for the PS4 or PS5, is not only considered to be like the best Spider-Man game, but like one of the best PS5 games of all time. So
Did my mom send you?
Did you ever thought that this Spider-Man game would get this high reception and such? And what were your thoughts on the reception of this game?
You never know when you're doing something. Sometimes you think this is going to be the greatest thing ever created, and people just don't respond. And sometimes you're like, oh, that's just a little thing that I did, and it blows up. So it was hard for me to say, oh yeah, I knew it was going to be big, because I didn't. But I could tell we were making something special when we were doing it. I haven't played all of the Spider-Man video games, but I played some of them growing up, and we just wanted to tell a good story, and I could tell that everybody who was working on the game, from in any position, whether they were animators or sound people or other actors or everybody, they were unified in their love of Spider-Man. Like you could tell that nobody wanted this to fail. Everybody loved it, and nobody wanted to let down that character, that we all love so much.
And nobody was really just clocking in. Like sometimes you work on jobs and you're like, oh, that guy just showed up for the paycheck. Like you can just tell, but everyone loves it. So
Yeah, they're so excited to work on it. So, I mean, it did feel special while I was working on it, but I didn't know if that meant that it was going to be a big hit. And I was really overjoyed at the response, because you're right. Yeah, people love the game, and that makes me so happy, because when we were making it, I was just afraid that I was going to mess up Spider-Man. Like I was like, oh God, I'm going to mess up Spider-Man. And I'm glad that people don't think that.
No, you killed it, bro. You still are. Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
With
Thank you.
recent developments, I gotta ask, when's the Spider-Man rap album coming out?
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
People are asking.
Has everyone heard the album?
it's a Naruto.
Yeah.
It's a
wanna get too
Naruto-themed
off
wrap-up.
topic.
I know.
No, thank you. Thank you for. I like to promote the album, Fire Style. You can listen
Yes,
to
sir.
it wherever you
For
listen-
charity.
wherever you listen to music.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
We would have to get permission from Marvel first. So
let's just say.
Miles features on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's just say that I never thought there was going to be a Naruto rap album.
shocked.
And there is now. So I'm not going to say yes.
I say
I'm not
in
going to say
character,
no.
Miles Morales would be on board. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm definitely hopping on the track with Big Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Oh yeah. We're doing a Watching Throne. You know what I mean? Watch the web. You know what I mean? Jay-Z, Kanye, Pete Miles.
Totally.
Like this. It's gonna
Everybody
be top
loves
tier.
Spider-Man. Come on.
It's gonna be top tier, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
How does it feel to play as like Miles Morales, being like a more swaggy type of Spider-Man, and how you sort of brought that into the character?
I was real young when I got Miles, and really didn't know too much as far as what to bring to the table. Just brought my genuine energy to the table, and Miles is a real smart guy. So as a kid, he had this brainiac, type of energy where he was a scientist and he was, really, really just good at what he did. And I brought that to the table. And as he got older, he filled out more and, got into his own with Big Bro Pete and, just running the streets with Pete and swinging around and getting into his own, where now he is his own kind of man. You kind of see that coming up. But it's the impact is amazing, man. I have little nephews, nieces, and baby cousins that all are huge fans of it now, and it makes me very heartfelt and warm. So like just seeing the impact on this new generation and how it's going, and then how y'all are loving it, and I'm just want to make y'all happy and keep on going with it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
So I was just wondering if you guys had a favorite character interaction that you got to do in the game, or if there was a certain scene, even if it's not necessarily your own, that you love to see brought to life in the game.
No more Spider Cop.
I know.
One of my favorites.
I mean that roof scene with you is fun because it's just me and her being Yuri and Tara for a lot of it. But you know what I love, and somebody just posted again the other day. I'm like, God, such a good scene. The scene with you and me in the alley where I teach you to fight.
Oh yeah, that's the classic one.
Yeah.
That bond is built at. Yeah, I want to say that one because that's where we kind of see just the genuine thing in Pete, where he's a genuine guy. He wants to help out, and then we see how it all kind of turns out.
Yeah, that's and I remember filming that a couple times.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, one of the cool things that we've gotten to do on this game, or on all these games, is to do the performance capture. So we're not just recording our lines in a booth separate from each other. We get to be on a stage looking at each other. Yeah, when we're doing it, and you definitely get a different kind of performance when you've got the actors.
The chemistry,
together.
everything, it all has to be there. So yeah, we definitely got into a zone, and had to get y'all feelings in there with us too. So yeah, that's probably one of the top scenes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think would when if Peter Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man got into a sparring match or fight, who do you think would win?
Miles.
I don't know, because it's like Sensei and Grasshopper. It's like that's the relationship right there. So
Right.
I learned from the teacher, man.
But at some point, the grasshopper over.
Right, exactly. Jumps right over. We'd probably just end up hugging it out.
Let's go get some pizza.
Too much spider love. Yeah. We just end up eating pizza.
But there's Venom out there too. That's our kind of main focus.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so first of all, I was today years old when I found out there was a Spider-Man 2 announced. So it's weird that I'll be.
Congratulations!
It's a little weird that I'll be exiting this room with $70 less.
I understand.
There's no merches around, so it's a little odd.
Yeah. You could just give us the money. I'm joking.
Right.
I'm joking. We don't take. No. I'm joking.
I don't think the pre-order link will be live for at least another few months. So. You're good. You're good.
It's written off though.
The trailer,
effectively.
But the trailer is out.
That's right.
I'll have to take a look. I'm taking a look right
check out that.
It's a little teaser. It's a little
teaser. Yeah, for sure.
My question is, one of the biggest aspects I think of Spider-Man, or not a biggest, but one of the essentials is their quips and everything, right? Each of them have their own quips and everything. And since you guys are voice actors and such, sometimes I know that you guys get to give a little bit of input depending on the project. Did you guys come up with any of the quips? And if so, what were you guys' favorites? And in general, since Tara can answer as well, is there any lines of your characters, either one-liners or just that you really enjoyed giving, whether for the comedy aspect or emotional?
Yeah. When I first started, I was so nervous when we first started recording. I just read what the lines were, which ended up being really easy because it's so well written. Like the writers on that game on all the games so far have been so good, and they write really, really funny stuff. And once I got into the character a little bit more, and I had done it for a little while, and I felt more comfortable with the crew over there, I would occasionally start to say, "Hey, I've got an idea," and I don't know how many times out of 10 they would choose an ad lib that I would do. Because I'm sure sometimes they were like, that was funny. All right, burn it. Use the first take, or whatever. Which is fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Don't use that.
Exactly. You get it. But we did finally get into, once I learned sort of the character that their Spider-Man and my Spider-Man that we were creating together, I felt a little more comfortable suggesting things like that. I never expected any of them would make it to the game, but some of them did. Notably, yippee-ki-yay, mother spiders, which I was like, I said as a joke. I'm like, they're going to burn that. And somebody posted it once, and I'm like, oh, that made it in the game. But one of my favorites was at the end of the Fisk mission at the very beginning, when Fisk is all webbed up, and we're sort of hanging there, and he's hanging there, and I'm looking at Fisk, and I say, so do we kiss now, or what? Like, that was another joke that I just sort of, it wasn't like an ad-lib quip, I just was doing it to make everybody laugh, and I think that made it into the game too, so.
But it also sometimes is hard to remember because you've done the scene a few times and you've said the lines that they've written, and then sometimes you've said something, but by a month or 2 or 3 months later, you don't necessarily remember what was written on the page and what you might have extrapolated. So then when you listen to pieces of the game, you're like, did I come up with that, or was that just something on the page? Because you don't necessarily remember. I'm trying to think of, because my character doesn't really have quips in the same way.
She's very serious.
I'm very serious. I mean, No More Spider Cup, I sometimes threw that in, even when it wasn't in the scene, but it was already established. So it wasn't my idea. They had written Spider Cop, and honestly, the writers didn't think Spider Cop was going to be in the game. Like, they wrote it because it made them happy, and they're like, well, we know this isn't going to happen. And then we laid it down, and they were like, oh, that actually works? Oh, that's funny. Oh, we like that. And so, you never quite know what's going to be not on the cutting room floor versus what it will be. But I still really love that scene on the rooftop when it was a performance capture scene where the two of us are talking, and we're joking about him coming to the policeman's ball with me. And we just had some good moments in it because it was, like Yuri says, it was just the two of us like working together and me rolling my eyes at him. And I think that landed, and I think that stayed in, which was.
I should have printed that photo that commission that I had done of.
Oh, you guys get a
Yuri
robe.
Watanabe and it was a policeman's ball joke, and I should have that printed for us to bring to shows.
You
anyway.
should. It's adorable.
It is kind of good that Yuri didn't have as many quips, because I think the straight man character, you played it very, very well.
Yes, and you need that.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't have everybody being wisecracking. And I'm not in real life. I am always the right Homer who I was like, oh, I should have said this. That would have been funny.
And Nadji, we've already got some good ones in the new game, I think.
Yeah, we definitely.
Mum is the word.
I know. We're like,
right. That's the thing. I'm like, first game we definitely had some rules, and I was filling everything out, so it was definitely sticking to the page. But this part 2, we got more leverage. So
and then you got your own game.
And I'll let you know.
And you're more established in the character now that it's going to be your second game and everything. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's your third game at this point.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
I'm main character.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. So I was online the other day, and I kind of the love interest discussion came up. And it kind of got me thinking, I'm like, does Gwen Stacy even exist in this universe? Because no one's mentioned it, and usually she's known as Spider-Man's like first love, but that isn't established like at all. So what do you guys personally think? It could be speculation or whatever.
They took some liberties in creating their Spider-Man universe. They took some well-known kind of tropes and relationships and turned them a little bit, And yeah, I mean, as far as I know, Gwen Stacy's not part of that universe, but they still have more games to make. So
she can just get written in, kind of like how the Raimi universe written her in later.
Right, exactly. I mean, I don't see any reason they couldn't find a way to pull her in the future, but as of yet, nothing.
I still think you should have gone to the policeman's ball with me, is what I'm saying.
I know.
Awesome, yeah, thank you. It was just more of a fun question.
Like, when you're working on projects, and like with Spider-Man, you obviously came back for more games. How do you come back to the studio with like that same energy, like just completely like continuing the character the same and not have it like change a little bit?
Oh, man, I lean on the writers for that because I know that they have to keep a certain consistency, and I trust them to that. And the performance director we have, Chris Zimmerman, who directs us in the booth and on the stage for the acting stuff. She always stays on us to make sure that we're consistent with what we've done before.
And also, especially when you're doing voice work, they have clips of what you've done, and they can play your own reference for you. And I know it sounds weird, but when you hear yourself, you sort of tune into not only the words that you're saying, but you tune into the feeling that you're feeling. Like you, as the performer, you're listening to your own performance in sort of like a giant sphere version of it. And so once you hear it or tune into it or think about it or feel it, you can sort of re-step into it, almost like clothing. You're like, oh yeah, this jacket, I know what this is like. And then you kind of put it back on and you're like, that's where I am now. Although you can also do some yoga and stretches to help your body, which is aging from point 1 to point 2, to get more comfortable doing it again.
Nadji, do they have...
Yerba mate.
Yerba mate.
Yerba mate.
That's right. I can confirm. I can confirm that I've seen him down numerous massive cans of yerba mate over the course of a day.
It's a tea.
It's a tea that has 3 times the amount of caffeine of coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Did they have now that he's just brought it up? Did you guys have a lot of conversations from that first game to the Miles game as to like where he's been in between and whether like it should be sort of the same or?
We're still discussing his age as far as like where he is. Someone said like I'm like he's at least 19 now, 18, 19 now. So we're getting into his own where he's filling out his manliness, his young manliness. Now he's growing out of the teenager role. Still has the tendencies of a young boy. Still with mom, still living with mom, but then. When he turns Spider Mouse, it's different, and it's that mature. Oh, his manliness is now in there and kicked in, so he's taking that role.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's I would say like a typical just uprising of a young man. The puberty change, all that stuff just goes and getting the hair on his face.
All right. Spider powers, hair on your face. The usual
similar.
puberty
Exactly.
stuff.
Everyday
Can walk
stuff.
on walls.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Or like when you do get the part together, do you guys like tend to go home and rehearse together, or like just stuff like that? Because I really like the voice acting stuff.
Sure,
Thank you.
yeah.
That's very sweet. No, I mean, we both audition separately when we get auditions. I think a lot of studios and productions know we've been married almost 21 years, so they know that we're married, and we happen to be with the same voice agent, so they probably send our auditions in simultaneously, and we're fortunate to both be working a lot, but no, it's not guaranteed or obvious that one of us will be cast just because the other one is cast. I wish I were cast as often as Yuri is cast, but no, we don't really rehearse it at home because often with voiceover, sometimes even motion capture, like when we have scenes, we'll read our scenes together, but with voiceover, like we each read our scripts and we prepare, and then we go into the booth and we're recording separately. We're not working together, so we're not reading together, so it's not like that.
We were on an episode of Hawaii Five-0 once together, and I think they hired both of us because they knew we were married and they knew they could save on a hotel room. Because we'd both be in the same hotel room, which is fine. Whatever it takes to get the job is fine with me. Yeah, it is always fun when it works out that way. But
yeah, I love working with him.
But we don't have it in our contract that if you cast one of us, you have to cast the other one. Maybe we should put that in our contract.
No, I want you to keep working. It's okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Certainly.
So with both Spider-Man, obviously these are characters with a lot of history, and they've been written separately and differently throughout comic book history. So for both of you, what do you guys think that you've brought something new to the characters in working with like Spider-Man or Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Well, definitely I guess his steez. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I have a lot of family in New York, Atlanta, and in LA and Jamaica. So I kind of just brought my own, just personality to the table and kind of just made it blend with who he was already. He was a smart guy, but also, lost his dad and, living with his mom. And he's half Puerto Rican as well, too. So he has some flavor to him. So he has a little oomph. So I just put my own little thing in there, and then he's still growing. So, things are going to keep on changing. The events are going to keep on happening where we're going to see his personality tested through the waters. So, yeah. So right now it's just a regular 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, I just sort of, leapfrog on that. We can only really ever sort of bring what we bring naturally, from who we are to the character. I mean, I love the Spider-Man that Insomniac has created, that the writers have created and that the whole team over there has created. So I don't know specifically if they had in mind something, if this is, we want our Spider-Man to have this, or we want our Spider-Man to have that. But I'm just glad that whatever I have is, was in line with what they
I mean,
wanted.
the fact that you shoot webs is.
Oh yeah, I did, but I try not to do that in public.
Oh, I understand. Sorry.
Because it's not from my wrist.
Oh, Yuri.
Anyway, yes. So yeah, whatever I've brought, I think comes from my history and all of what I have naturally, just like what Nadji was saying, and I just think luckily we work well together.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
well, that's
sir.
cool. Thank you. Also, Nadji, what's with the little plushie you got there?
Yeah, what is? I was hoping somebody would
I was
ask.
waiting for somebody to ask about Minnie Mouse.
I just wanted to point it out because it has your likeness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
I'll make this quick. What moment in either Spider-Man or Spider-Man Miles Morales was your favorite?
Either or, both.
I always like when I come to you and explain the powers. That's probably like still top notch for me.
Oh, at the end of the
whole
first one.
The puberty thing, and then he jumped.
Yeah, where I think you're gonna pull your pants down.
I remember running the lines with him
Yeah.
for that because, of course, for the mocap. So I would just
Classic.
run the lines, and I was like, "That's such a great scene."
Yeah, that's
It is.
That's a classic one for me.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I love every day that I get to show up on set to do scenes with people like Nadji or Bill Salyers or the fantastic cast. This one right here. I mean, I feel very lucky for that to be my job. So I don't know. I know a lot of people talk about a lot of people talk about the super emotional scenes in the first Spider-Man
The
game,
end of that.
but
The ending broke me.
yeah, good, good. 'Cause it broke me too. I was very nervous, going into those scenes because you never know how they're going to come out, and I'm glad that we were able to give that to you. So
Yes, sir, man. Seriously, as long as we give you the feels. Yes, sir, Caleb.
What inspirations do you take from previous Spider-Man media in general, and which ones do you try and avoid?
I don't think I tried to avoid anything. I think I just sort of naturally took in the things that I always loved about Spider-Man, but not consciously. I think I've just sort of absorbed them. I don't know. Did you feel like you had to draw on what you knew about Spider-Man to going forward, or you just sort of brought you, which is what everybody loved?
I definitely, because I grew up in the Tobey Maguire era. That was, that was, I'm 25, 26 now, so that was childhood for me. And really just getting in that headspace of just New York feel of people. How they move out there, very fast paced moving out there. Like New York, you go out there, it's a different type of city. You got to learn the trains. So there, people out there are kind of built different. So, and I have family out there too. So really, just getting into this story, just thinking about Peter's story, him losing, his uncle, and now, aunt, and then now relating to Miles, him losing his dad. Yeah, kind of, it's a lot of emotions, but also they're strong human beings at the same time. They've been through a lot, so they kind of, they push through it, but they have each other, and then they have this big old world to save and people to please. So putting all that in one, it kind of it kind of makes you move a certain way.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
If you could use any spider webbies in real life and any landmark or anime landmark or game landmark, where would it be?
I mean, I wish I could get home from work and my car could pull up to Castle Grayskull. But as far as anime land or landmarks of places that from things that I've worked on. But yeah, I wouldn't need a car if I had webs, now would I?
No. That's what
But here's the thing. You gotta, and I think their jokes have been made about this before in comics, New York City is a perfect place for him because there's always something to stick your web to.
Yeah, LA would suck because you couldn't get anywhere.
You can only be downtown or Wilshire.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know
Century
about
City.
Sacramento, but you'd be stuck
And then
in this
Spider-Man would
big
have to
building.
drive in between areas where he gets whipped to.
So falling down from the Empire State Building sounds great. Sounds
That
scary,
I used to always do that in the game.
Did you?
That was my
Power
favorite
dive
thing.
from the Empire State
Yeah,
Building?
just jumped straight down.
I love that they made it so you couldn't splat.
Oh, right,
Then you'd
yeah,
always
right.
sort of roll out
Yeah.
of it.
Right now.
I was so scared. I remember
Crazy.
watching the playthrough at first, and I was like, "Oh no, 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 no!
What are you
Oh,
doing?
okay, it's okay."
I also love how they put lots of cool Marvel specific landmarks in the Spider-Man game.
Did, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
the
the
Stark
Sanctum,
Tony Stark building, yeah.
Stark building, Sanctum
Yeah.
Sanctorum, Avengers Tower, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Well, now it's a
Yep.
multiverse, you guys. So
Right.
everything's all.
Yeah. Right.
It's gonna be in there.
But
See
yeah,
next movie.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
chatting with you.
Likewise.
If you could have one of a spider person's ability, so like his healing, his agility, his webs, his strength, which one ability would you pick?
Venom. Shocking.
Yeah,
I'm shocking. I'm Venom.
Spidey sense.
Spidey sense.
I think
Yeah.
healing.
Healing is good.
You know, healing, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
No, I would do the.
I'm a mom though, so I'm like, just like, safe, like
So you already have Spidey sense naturally.
I don't need that. I got that.
You don't
already.
need that one.
She's already equipped.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam.
Are you guys excited for the Spider-Man 2 video game coming out?
Yes.
Yes, are you?
Always.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're working on it. I was just gonna say, just as a surprise for all you Spider-Man people, why don't we call that gentleman to the stage right there? No.
Whoa!
That guy right there. Ladies and gentlemen.
Is it kicking in, Spider-Man?
Scorpion.
My man.
That's our Scorpion right there, Jason Spisak, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on?
Do you want to?
You up here?
Do you want to just come up here for the rest?
I need you up here. So he's known me since I was like what, 16?
It's so good
When
to
I
see
first
you.
did Miles on Disney. Yeah. Man, what's going on?
So good to see
I just ran into this guy.
Sure, man.
I know. It's like we're everywhere. We're all over the convention. You never know who's going to be standing behind you.
Nice.
Perfect.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
And
Really,
then
I'm
Kevin,
not
yeah.
who they say I am.
Hey, this man has seen the uprising of everything right
That's
now.
right.
Gargan
Of
himself.
it all.
It's so good to see
Of
you.
it all. How you doing, man? How you been?
I love it. It's like a
Good?
mini
First
reunion.
time in Sac or no?
Yeah, first time at SacAnime.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
Mine
yeah.
too. I'm
You're
loving
better
it.
in-
You had another question, sir.
Go ahead.
I believe, yes.
Thanks for the surprise appearance.
Yeah, because I was talking to you outside.
If you guys heard of the Across the Spider-Verse movies coming out, is it possible you would all jump back into the fray as additional Spider people?
I think
If they give us a call,
Yeah.
any of us would love that.
Because they have Across the Spider-Verse 1 and 2 coming out. So
I know.
think along the way, there's a good chance you guys could be added.
Well, we love the nods that they gave to the game in the first movie.
Yeah.
And I would love for my phone to ring and them to go, yeah, we want you in the new Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie. But, I mean, I can't speak for you guys. I mean, I can mostly speak for you because you would have told me. You wouldn't be able to
I
keep
would
that
have told you
secret.
that.
That neither of us are in it yet.
Yeah, no, they I think they keep it quiet.
Did they call you? Did they call you? They called you, didn't they?
No,
and
no,
you're
no.
not telling me because you're afraid I'm going to get jealous.
The thing is, I think I was doing the show and the game at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going back and forth. Yeah, I was recording at the booth at Bang and then going to Eagle. So I didn't know anything about Spider-Verse. It was just a surprise. It was like a movie surprise, and I think essentially maybe it was like an overbooked type of thing because I was back and forth. Like it was days I was going to stage and then going to VO booth and then both VO booths. So it was insane for me for a minute, but never knew anything. So I was like,
I think I can speak for all of us when we say we would all say yes to being in a Spider-Verse movie because that movie was the best.
Yes.
And I'd be a villain who tried to kill any spider people
Exactly.
that showed up. Gladly.
He's an arachnophobic.
That is sort of what you do.
I'd be whatever, the Alistair Smythe, I'd be Scorpion, I'd be whoever the body they put me in is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Silco.
Silco.
Continue being you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Likewise, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the
See you
energy
again.
and support. Thank you, man.
Like, you know how like the MC movies are doing all their things with the Spider-Man across the universe? How would all you guys feel if like Marvel called you right now and said, hey, we want you guys to play live action characters of your characters? Like in the suit, everything.
Where do I sign up?
Go on.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
I might have to get a trainer first, but you never know. Like Peter B. Parker, like he didn't have to work out, like, right?
Oh yeah.
They could just have this version.
Yeah. The answer is yes.
Of course.
We're actors
Always
who like to work, so the answer is always yes.
Yes. We abhor a vacuum in our schedule. That is bad. We like to work. So yes.
Yeah.
Wanted to know, since like there's not really a live action Miles Morales, how does it feel like you and the actor who does for Spider-Verse, like how does it feel to be like the Miles right now?
It's amazing, man. I love it. I love it. I love every part of it, man. Seriously. Just seeing, like I said, the impact of it and just seeing the growth of it and just being a big kid again. Because, you know, Miles is a little younger than me. So I get to be in that field again of being a young kid and thinking like that and moving like that. So, man, it's going. I'm getting little toys made. We're getting shirts made. It's so much stuff that is happening that I'm trying to just keep it going for y'all. I do it for y'all, the fans, man. So that's my main thing is keeping y'all happy, keeping smiles on y'all faces.
Also, I gotta say, I gave up on trying to do any like the stunty stuff a while ago because I'm old. But this guy rolls in and he's like jumping around like Spider-Man, like in real life, and I'm like, whoa.
Trying to give y'all the best, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
he's
Live action Miles Morales.
He does. It goes all the way. It goes hard.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, sir, Alec.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite place in New York?
Ooh.
Favorite place.
Golden Crust.
Wait, is
No.
Veselka's not there anymore? Is it?
Veselka is still there.
Oh, Veselka.
Veselka Diner, yeah.
I'm Jamaican, so I'm gonna have to say Golden Crust.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I like Veselka.
So many places I used to love are gone though. Like
Yeah,
they're
that's
just
true.
gone. So I'm like trying to think of what's still there.
There was a place called Mandarin Court, I think, down in Chinatown that I always used to love to go get dim sum.
Yeah, dim sum. That was great.
But yeah.
Can't go wrong in Little Italy too. All that pasta over there.
I mean, New York City. I mean, you could just go like block to block to block and just be like, okay, and this place here and this place.
Take
and
yourself home in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, it's a town smorgasbord. You just go to every single
and it's tough because it changes. Like every time I go back, there are new places and a lot of the old places are gone. So
oh yeah, my favorite Mongolian restaurant is gone. It's
Yeah.
I mean, this one's not a restaurant, but Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy.
Y'all had you never had Mr. Softy ice cream before?
Mr. Softy.
Is that an East Coast thing though?
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Softy ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, late night. Oh man, or summertime. It doesn't matter. Get you a nice little soft serve with the strawberry and the sprinkle. What?
Mhm.
Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Take that.
Take